Hello everyone, my name is Rochelle Innocent and I'm the founder and CEO of Project Purpose. Welcome to our channel. Our community is focused on fostering the intellectual and character development in children. We do this through our parent-child workshops that are focused on 4 themes: autonomy, self-efficacy, compassion, and self-concept, in order to cultivate grit, perseverance, and resilience in each child. And we are so thrilled to be offering one of the first of its kind digital, virtual, and continuous learning environments, enabling parents and children to connect from all around the world. At Project Purpose, our overarching mandate is to renew and rebuild family, community, and relationships. Our different social media platforms provide us with an opportunity to have discussions and to create space on all topics that relate to family, community, and relationships with ourselves as well as with others, with a primary focus on mental health and education. More precisely, the ways that the institutions of mental health and education play a role and have played a role in our societies at large. These discussions and debates provide us with an opportunity to think critically about what needs to change within these structures for us to live up to our bold slogan: support, protect, and empower each child through youth-focused development, better known as leadership in juvenescence. We recognize that in valuing our children's leadership potential, this also translates as recreating and co-creating environments, both socially and politically, that will enable our children to thrive. Now, for those of you who are particularly keen on the topic, we also write thought pieces every other Sunday. We have a thought piece scheduled to drop this upcoming Sunday, so be sure to meander over to the website and check out our online content. Now, if it is the case that you are looking for a listening alternative, well, we are available on 12 different podcast platforms for your listening leisure, and we've provided you with access to the links in the description down below. Now, as is the convention, be sure to subscribe, hit that post notification bell so that you are aware of every time we post. And of course, if you like these conversations and you want to keep them going, like, comment, and share this segment. Let's get into it. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another segment here on Project Purpose. For those of you who are new, we cover topics that relate to mental health, mental wellness, and education on a week-by-week basis. And today the topic of discussion is mental wellness. And on the topic of mental wellness, I'm going to do the flip side of the first video we did on Tuesday. And on Tuesday, we talked about the things that we have to say that we need to be unapologetic about. So I talked about 3 scenarios where we really do have to stand our ground, and is probably going to translate in rustled feathers, and how even if feathers are rustled because of the situation and the context, like, no apologies required. And I provided those 3 areas where if I have to be assertive, if I have to be direct, if I have to be aggressive, I am also not going to be apologetic about it, because I was put in a situation where the only way to honor myself was to respond in kind. And so in this video, I want to do the inverse, and I want to talk about the 3 areas where we don't need, or we are not obligated to accept an apology. And I want to first provide the caveat: not accepting someone's apology is not the same as not forgiving them. I forgive everyone who has harmed me, because again, forgiveness is for myself. I let go of the energy that doesn't serve me. But apologies not accepted means that the harm was done. There was a significant amount of impact that, regardless of how much you apologize or how sincere that apology is, it's not going to change my decision as to where you currently stand in my life. And I think that that's really what I mean when I talk about no apologies accepted. I'm just saying it's not going to change the outcome or the nature of the decisions that I take based on the infractions that were committed. And so I have 3 areas where, for me, no apologies will be accepted. So there's no apologies needed. If you're looking for forgiveness, I've forgiven you, but is that going to change how I see you, how I perceive you post situation? No, it's absolutely not. There are certain characteristics or certain character traits that I have absolutely no room for in this healing journey of mine that I made way too much bandwidth for in the earlier parts of my life. And so for me, like, there are certain things that if they are done to me, no apologies will be accepted. You of course are forgiven, but it doesn't require a conversation. I am not the kind of person who needs closure. I mean, I might have in the past, but for me, closure is the situation in and of itself. Closure is the words spoken, the deeds done, in the light, in the dark, the decisions made is all the closure that I need. We don't need to have a coffee. We don't need to exchange emails or text messages. That is proof in the pudding for me. But anyways, that's the preface. We don't need to paint the picture anymore. I think that you get the sense of it. And I'm going to talk about the 3 areas where for me, no apologies will be accepted. Therefore, no apologies needed, but of course you are still forgiven. And so the first area where no apologies will be accepted is when it comes to betrayal. And for me, I am a deeply loyal human being. If I am in your corner, I am in your corner. I am a ride or die human being when it comes to the people that I hold near and dear to my heart. And because I love that deeply, because I want that deeply for the people around me, I've recognized that I cannot have a threshold for betrayal that I would not commit. I'm not perfect by any means, but because one of my traits that I'm really proud of, that I'm really happy that I have, is loyalty. And I've always been someone who is fiercely, fiercely loyal, and now I expect fierce loyalty. So betrayal can be a plethora of different things. Betrayal can be a lie. It can be acts of malice. It could be, acts of jealousy, acts of envy. It can be not responding to me when I really needed you. All of those for me translate as betrayal. And I think betrayal is one of those really massive buckets where it can almost be a catch-all for some of the injuries that all of us have sustained and some of the wounds that we're all healing from. But for me, if you betray me in a way that I know I would never betray you, then no apologies are needed. I don't need that relationship in my life anymore. I don't need to deal with any cycles of that kind of behavior. It's okay, you're forgiven, and I've let you go. That's just the end of that discussion there. And not to say like that I think I'm perfect or that I think that people have to walk a thin line in order to be in a relationship with me, but I think that all of us know our top traits, like what things people benefit from in being in a relationship with us. And I think if loyalty isn't one of your big traits, then it doesn't need to be betrayal. It can be something else. But for me, it's my video, so my top traits, where if I was hit with this kind of behavior, like for me, like no apologies are needed, like that relationship is forever changed. But again, betrayal for me is a big one, and I think a lot of us have become way more desensitized to betrayal. We expect betrayal from the relationships that we're in, and I'm saying hold yourself and the relationships that you have to a higher standard. Better to have a small circle than a big circle filled with people who are disingenuous. And so those are the Coles notes that I have on that point. And so that's my hot take when it comes to my first area where no apologies are accepted. Now, the second area where no apologies are accepted is disrespect. So someone going out of their way to be malicious and to be disrespectful. I am not someone who ever feels inclined, ever feels the need to operate from a place of disrespect, especially when it's not warranted. Now, if I am triggered, if you are seeking to go to blows with me, if you're seeking to battle with me, even then, like typically I want to respond to neutralize and to diffuse the situation. I'm never really at this stage in my life interested in being disrespectful outright. So I'm actually not interested in receiving disrespect from anyone. And I am someone who believes that I can only control my own behavior. I'm not going to go out of my way to try to circumvent situations that are going to create a breeding ground for disrespect. I think some people just look at you and they want to disrespect you. But for me, I just want you to know that if that's the inclination you had and you acted on it, forever that relationship has changed. Even if I respond cordially, even if I'm polite, even if we still have superficial conversation because I need to interact with you, one act of disrespect for me is a non-negotiable. No apologies are necessary. We're not going to be friends after that disrespect. Our relationship's going to be changed. But again, of course, I forgive you. And so the last one that I want to talk about is one that a lot of us have varying views on, but hopefully we can build a thread through it, is abuse, and any form of abuse, whether it's emotional abuse, psychological abuse, sexual abuse, financial abuse, any forms of abuse. For me, no apologies are needed. And I think too many of us have given so much of our power to those who abuse us that we seek some sort of reconciliation, seek some sort of remorse. And for me, I'm like, no, to be abusive is such an intentional act. It requires so much so much thought and so much premeditation that I don't need an apology from you. I'm not looking for an apology from you. I'm looking for accountability, and I'm looking to forget you completely. And this is one where I'm so like hardcore about it. Like for the other ones, I might have fond memories of what the relationship was, but if you are abusive, if that's the road you decided to take, my objective for you is indifference. You will not be memorialized. You will not be remembered. You will not be considered in my healing journey post-healing from the abuse. Like once I get over that abuse, I mean, I've buried you in that healing journey, and I think that that's the best way to deal with an abuser rather than carry them on our shoulders and giving them a significant role to play in our identity as we heal, like post-healing. And I think too many of us put our abusers to some extent on a pedestal, and for me, no, you're not gonna be on a pedestal. In any case, those were the three that I wanted to talk about. The first one being betrayal, the second one being disrespect, and the last one being abuse. And so I would love to hear what your top three no apologies necessary are. For me, those are mine, and I think that with relationships, I would much rather keep my circle small, even to just myself, than allow people who operate from a place of betrayal, who operate with the intention to betray, to disrespect, or to abuse around me. So that was it for today. Some food for thought for you, and I think that definitely put your comments down below where you are in your healing journey by way of how it is that you consider relationships post-betrayal, post-disrespect, and post-abuse. And let's heal and talk together. In any case, that was it for today, but definitely not all. Now, before letting you go, I would be remiss if I didn't let you know that we will be going live at least twice a month, every month for the foreseeable future on our Facebook page. So definitely be sure to tune in. Now, these events are paid events, so if you do see yourself participating in our community on an ongoing basis, then I do suggest that you take a look at one of our package plans. Yes, so we do offer package plans over and above our live events, as well as access to webinars and workshops, largely focused on self-mastery over and above these events. So check it out, be part of our game changer community, being part of the change that you want to see, allowing us a small role to play in your journey. We are on the road to 1K, so we do invite you to follow us across all of our social media platforms, and we look forward to chatting with all of you very soon. We'll talk to you later.